Okay, let's go back to the phones and to Manitowoc, Wisconsin, and Jeannie. Jeannie, I'm glad you waited. Welcome to the EIB network.
Oh, thanks, Rush. It's a real pleasure and an honor. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that this pick is a home run. This is, I couldn't believe it when I heard it. That's the first thing I said. It's a home run. Paul Ryan is a man of integrity. He is honest. He says he's going to do something, and he does it. And the best thing about him is he's a very humble man, so when the lamestream media tries to attack him, he's not full of himself, so he's just going to come back and say, nope, this is what's going on, and this is how he fix it, and this is how we get America back on the right track.
Well, but some might say that you're a little biased. I mean, you're from Wisconsin.
Well, I would just have to tell them that, look at Wisconsin. After Scott Walker got elected, for 2 years, our media kept telling us, he's going to ruin this state. He is going to ruin our schools. And he did his reforms. Then it was 2 years before they recalled him. And guess what? Even my Democratic family goes, oh, my gosh, this is working. And they voted for him. So I agree with you. I think that the media is not an excuse. What they have to do, and Paul Ryan can do it, is they have to continue to say, nope, we are running off the rails here, and this is how we get back on, and this is how we're going to do it, and America's going to be great again, and that man can do it.
It is going to be funny to listen to them. Ryan, essentially, that soundbite we played from Obama when he was in Iowa, Council Bluffs, I think it was, when he called him a decent guy and a family man, I mean, that's an endorsement. So Obama has called Ryan, he's a decent guy, he's a family man. His audience started booing, and Obama, no. So when Obama's PACs now set out after Ryan, and they will, you know they will, because that's all they know how to do. They're already doing it. I mean, I've got sound bites here from Candy Crowley and Axelrod. That's all they have. And it's a point that Ryan is making ever since Saturday. They don't have anything. He made it last night with that Bob Schieffer on CBS. They don't have anything they can say about their record. So they have to distract. They have to use the Bain Capital stuff. They have to use Romney killed my wife. They have to come up with all of these personal smears and insults. And they're I'll be real surprised if they're able to make any of them stick against Paul Ryan. You know, his wife is 40. Ryan is 42. His wife is college educated. His wife is every bit, I mean, they have a lot in common. His wife's every bit the political thinker that he is. You know, she chose motherhood. In her own words, she wanted to be a mother, and she is. They've got 3 kids. Well, that's the kind of thing the Democrats have to demagogue. Oh, yeah, they're so old-fashioned. She shows motherhood? That's not modern feminism. Look at the position that they're in. I mean, you couldn't have, as far as you and I folks are concerned, as I said, the last Boy Scout is a traditional American man. And somehow they're going to try to paint that as out of touch or extreme. Well, of course she can be a mother because Ryan is a rich Republican who's benefited from top knowledge of bankers. It's this kind of stuff that they're going to have to try to hit him with, and they will. No, I don't think the media is never going to tell the truth about Ryan's Medicare plan. But that's something that we know going in. Let's see. Who's next? This is Mark in Fort Worth, Texas. Hey, Mark, I'm glad you called. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Rush. Dittos from the great state.
Thank you.
I just wanted to call and confirm what you said about Romney's choice of Ryan in terms of this is a choice for governance. The history of nominees is they pick VPs for a lot of different reasons, whether it's to balance the ticket geographically or ideologically or to try to charge up their base or whatever. This guy is a policy guy, He knows exactly what he's doing. He's done battle in the trenches with the liberal Democrats, and this is a governance choice. And I'll tell you, he's going to be a great spokesman on this Medicare stuff, because the age that he is, he's a little bit younger than I am. And for all of our adult lives, we have heard Democrats say that if you elect Republicans, they're going to kill Medicare and they're going to kill Social Security. They've been saying that for 30 years, and it hasn't happened. And the people who are targeted by that kind of line, folks who are in their 60s and 70s, they've been hearing that since they were 30 and 40 and 50 years old. And that line doesn't work anymore. It worked on my grandmother when she heard it, when she was, in 1980, when she heard it and she was 75 years old. It's the first time she had ever had her Social Security and Medicare threatened, and it worked on her. But the people that message is targeted at now have been hearing it for 30 years, and they see from experience it doesn't work.
This is an excellent point. It is one that I have made. There have been, we've had Reagan for 8 years. We had Bush for 4, then Bush for 8. We've had the Republicans running the House. There's been ample opportunity for Republicans to kick seniors out of their houses. Hadn't happened. There's been ample opportunity for the Republicans to cut and eliminate Social Security. Hadn't happened. Plenty of opportunity for Republicans to wipe out Medicare. It hasn't happened. So people are paying attention, know full well that none of these allegations ever come true. Now, in the case of certain seasoned citizens, the way it works is, if that's all they've got, if that Social Security check is all they've got, or if their Medicare assist is all they've got, and some Democrat comes along and says somebody's going to take it away from them, they, in an understandable way, they can't risk it. Especially if they're not day-to-day involved, informed, if that's all they've got, they can't risk not voting for the guy who says he's going to save it for them. The Democrat. That's how it's always worked. But what you say is true. Now we got 30 years of actual life experience where none of this ever happens. In fact, what we now face is the hard, cold reality that nobody's going to have to cut them. They will not survive on their own if we don't reverse the direction Obama's taken this country. It's not a question of cutting them. It's a question of the whole country imploding. It's a question of the whole country defaulting. It's a question of the whole country not having the money for anything if we don't stop the direction we're going. It's just, by attrition, these things are going to run out of money. Now, the current national debt is $16 trillion. Obama's budget, which has not secured one vote, projects that it will be $26 trillion in 10 years. And his budget assumes tax increases on the rich. Sorry, folks, we can't. That's not doable. We can't survive that. But the Democrats have nothing else, Mark, as you know. So they're going to keep launching these threats and making these allegations. And that's why I think the Ryan choice is good, because there's somebody on the ticket now who can refute this ideologically, factually, policy-wise, any way it needs to be refuted. I'll tell you something else about this pick. You made me think about something. Vice presidential choices, for the most part, are made because of some assistance they bring to the election of the nominee, such as a state. Maybe the vice president can help the nominee win a state, secure that state's electoral votes. Well, the conventional wisdom is the Republicans don't have a prayer of winning Wisconsin. And so if you look and expose yourself to the pessimists on our side about the pick of Ryan, you will read that Ryan brings nothing. He doesn't bring a state. He doesn't bring any electoral votes. He doesn't help with women. He doesn't help with this group. He doesn't help with that group. It's a wasted pick. This is from people who look at all of this through the traditional lens of political conventional wisdom. Romney has gone outside that in making this pick. And I think it's commendable. The and as you said, he's made, in addition to everything else, a governance pick. Now, I happen to think that Wisconsin is in play. I happen to think we can win Wisconsin. Paul Ryan, Scott Walker are best buddies. Scott Walker, the governor, was said not to have a chance. There were 2 recalls, one for the Senate, one for Walker. They both lost. I think the Republicans can win Wisconsin. And if they do, guess what else happens? Romney wins the White House. If they win, that's so out of the realm of possibility. There's no way. I mean, Wisconsin is the California of the upper Midwest. There's no way the Republicans can win Wisconsin. I don't believe that. But again, I have to stress, folks, I don't hang around political people, and I don't think the way they do. I know that the presidential election is 50 state elections. And I know that in the polling, you get swing states and you get states where the electoral votes are already committed. We already know California, New York, for example, automatically got to give them to Obama. I know that. I concede that. But I don't only look at all of this that way. I think the entire dynamic involved here involves much more. I could be a Pollyanna. I could be Whistling Dixie. I could be so naive about all this that you'd be better advised not to listen to me on it. Who knows? But I happen to pay very little attention to polls right now. I don't let them get me down or up. I don't think it matters right now. The election's not today. I don't believe, like conventional wisdom, if the election were today, Romney would lose. I don't believe that. I'm not a pessimist. I'm not prepared right now to concede anything, because it hasn't even really begun. It's all kinds of fireworks left to happen here. There's some odds makers out there, for example. Now, if Romney winning Wisconsin, the odds are 3-1 that he's going to win Wisconsin. The political conventional wisdom is you'd have a prayer of winning Wisconsin, even with Ryan. Anyway, Mark, I appreciate it. I got to run, folks. A brief obscene profit timeout. We'll be right back. Don't go away.